Hello, good to have you join us. This is Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguilera. President Bola Tinubu has directed the new board of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, to prioritize the welfare of Niger Delta people and Nigerians at large, even as they target profitability, high production level and good governance in the energy sector. The president gave the directive as he inaugurated the NNPCL board at the State House.
We need to show that we are committed to the welfare of our country. The cost of production is not acceptable to me. We have to look at that carefully. We have to mitigate all challenges and put incentive there to produce more gas. You better look critically at the PIA. What are the pitfalls in the PIA? The members of cabinet and your good self should sit as a team and look at what can we do differently. There's so many ways to skin a cat. What can we do differently to bring up profitability, production, high level, and good governance, which is the key performer indicator? It is all in your hands. I will work with you in every way possible, but there could be sudden dissolution of the board too if no performance indicator is exceptional.
From January to November, I think we have contributed about 4.5 trillion to FAC. We will do more. The incidences of stealing, pipeline vandalization, we know with your support, it will be a thing of the past. We can then be boasting of being able to produce 2 million barrels per day and above.
The federal government has reiterated its commitment towards promoting professionalism in the Nigerian extractive industry by checking and eliminating quackery in a sector that is acclaimed to be Nigeria's huge source of wealth. The Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, stated this during the 13th induction ceremony of the Council of Nigerian Mining Engineers and Geoscientists. The minister notes that the era in which the country relies on oil for its economic development is over, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is committed to looking inward for economic diversification.
I want to seize this opportunity in furthering the accreditation seriousness of this government and of COMEG. As from today, no mining engineer or geoscientist will be recognized by the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development without being registered by COMEG. So the Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals will not patronize any mining engineer or geoscientist that's not registered or certified by COMEG. And all reports that come into our ministry must carry the stamp of accreditation of COMEG.
We must move to clean energy. Who are the driver of this clean energy? They are the geologists, they are the geophysicists, they are the mining engineers that will extract the mineral, they are the metallurgy that will process it. We have lithium now all over Nigeria. What are we going to do with it? Electric car is the in thing. The next 20-30 years, all these diesel, petroleum-driven vehicle will be a thing of the past.
The Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Inanji, says the ministry is committed to the promotion of local content in project execution in line with the Presidential Executive Order 5 for the delivering of road and housing infrastructural project for Nigerians. This was during the minister's visit to the Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute in Ota, Ogun State. Yemi Dalemo reports.
The minister, who attended the 45th anniversary of the Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute, also inspected the facilities and inaugurated some modern projects built by the workers of the agency. One of such is the cost-effective bamboo reinforced building, where bamboo was used in place of steel, and the ultra-modern ICT building for training and research purposes. The minister, Geoffrey Naji, said the use of local content in project execution is a must under the Renew Hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu.
They are seriously addressing the infrastructural need of the country. With NIBRI, you can be sure that the cost of materials for building, both road, both buildings, houses, will be almost zero.
Director General of the agency, Professor Samson Duna, notes that the agency will revolutionize the building and road infrastructure subsector of Nigeria with the birth of transformative technologies and methodologies that have left an indelible mark on the construction of the landscape of Nigeria under the current administration.
The future is bright. I see more Nigerians owning houses. I see cost of building materials coming down if they embrace what NIBRI is coming up with in terms of innovation.
NBRRI, whose mandate is to conduct integrated applied research and development in the building and construction sectors of the economy, also trains members of its immediate community on interlocking blocks technology, paving stone, concrete pole and Nigerian ring technology, floor and wall tiling technology, among others. From Ota in Ogun State, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
From the judiciary, the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has upheld the election of Ahmadu Fintiri as the governor of Adamawa State. The three-man panel of justices affirmed the judgment of the Adamawa State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, declaring Ahmadu Fintiri of the People's Democratic Party as the validly elected governor of Adamawa State. The court dismissed the appeal of Aisha Binani of the APC for lacking in merit. Still on the judiciary, a high court of the Federal Capital Territory has issued an order attaching the accounts of the Oyo State government in 10 banks in the country. The presiding judge, Justice Ebong, gave the order in a ruling on a garnishee proceeding initiated by the former local government chairman in Oyo State, who was sacked on May 29, 2019, at the instance of Governor Seyi Makinde. The order is pursuant to the implementation of the Supreme Court verdict in 2021, where the Oyo State government, in a judgment debtor of more than 4 billion naira, in favor of the sacked council chairman. In the verdict, the Apex Court condemned the decision of Governor Makinde for unlawfully sacking the elected council chairman before the end of their tenure. On security, the Nigeria Police Force says it has successfully rescued 134 kidnapped victims, arrested 375 kidnappers, as well as 578 armed robbery suspects in various operations across the country in the last 3 months. Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetekun made the disclosure at the 2023 end-of-year Strategic Management Conference in Abuja. Let's hear from Francis Fong.
This is the last Senior Police Management Conference for year 2023. The conference is also expected to deliberate on the various security issues, express some of the challenges they experienced, and proffering solutions with a view to fulfilling their constitutional mandate of protecting lives and property. Another major success story recorded by the force is the arrest of some of the suspects involved in the deadly Otupo Bank robbery and the killers of a Hoda Divisional Police officer.
The daredevil armed robbers were traced to their hideouts, where 2 of them were neutralized while 4 were arrested and are currently in custody, assisting police investigators to track down others at large.
The conference is also another opportunity to chart a way forward as New Year approaches.
Intelligence-led policing will remain a cornerstone of our efforts, and I urge you all to boost your intelligence capacity and leverage on cutting-edge technology to dismantle criminal elements terrorizing our communities.
IGP Egbetokun also reminded the strategic managers that the Yuletide presents new challenges and responsibilities, and it is their duty to ensure that citizens celebrate in an atmosphere of peace and security. He enjoins the officers to intensify their patrols and embrace other crime-fighting strategies to safeguard the communities where they function. Francis from NTA News.
The Federal Capital Territory in the last 1 year we have seen have had mixed fortunes in the face of threats to security, and there has been responses by the various security formations to tackle the situation. In this report, our correspondent, Onotu Yakubu, brings us situation update and security deployment for the Yuletide season.
Confronting security challenges is a task that requires the support and commitment of all. In this regard, the nature of threats to security in the Federal Capital Territory have become increasingly complex over time, hence the need for support to meet up with modern methods of combating crimes. Occasional incidences of jungle justice, commercial motorcyclists running rampage at the suburb, and pockets of petty crimes have continuously caught attention of residents, while in the city center, the menace of one chance and missing persons occasionally still generate worries. But the joint security formations have been swift with response through special operations across the territory to combat these menaces, to restore confidence and security across board.
Before they were operating outside the main town, but now they are coming in.
They need to rise up to the occasion that the FCT is almost becoming like other states.
Rufus Ebeba is the chairman, Police Community Relations Committee, FCT. He believes it can be better to strengthen operational assets and platforms for the police to enhance civil security.
The federal government must deliberately concentrate on FCT, not just on FCT alone, but Nigeria as a whole.
The FCT administration is in unanimity with Chief Rufus's argument and has gone ahead to strengthen security of the territory with the acquisition and presentation of gadgets to the security agencies domiciled within the territory. The FCT security commands and formations say they have mapped out adequate strategic operational measures to ensure hitch-free festivities.
The deployment, so far, the RRS, the ACOS, they are all manning and also at strategic positions.
All is geared towards providing security, for residents of FCT, not during the Yuletide alone.
Moving forward, beyond the Yuletide, however, one passionate appeal resounds in the wish list of FCT residents, and that is to live in a capital city where good citizens fear less of the unknown. Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
All right, we join Onotu Yakubu live now in the FCT. He has more updates as regard preparations, for security, especially when we're drawing near to the festive season. So Onotu, if you can hear me clearly, please tell us from your findings and based on the report we've just seen. We've seen normally when it comes to Yuletide season like this, we see joint operations, joint task force, talking about different security operatives come together to ensure that there's security in place. So please feed us.
Yeah, thank you, Ruth. I am very much sure you are aware that periods such as this is usually seen by security observers as a litmus test for security formations and commands, especially as it has to do with the FCT, because of course we all know the strategic place of the Federal Capital Territory to the scheme of things in Nigeria. So in the last couple of days, or the last 1 week, so to speak, there has been visible policing by the various formations, especially the police, the civil defense, and of course even the DSS also have intensified efforts to ensure that no stone is left unturned. What has become the order of the day is that the joint security formations in the territory have upped their game. It is now, if there were lapses before now, but of course because of the significance of moments like this, they've taken the game a niche higher, and what you see across the four corners of the Federal Capital Territory right now, as it's been evidenced before the residents of the territory, are constant patrol, deployment of assets, both in human and platforms, to strategic locations. In fact, every entry and exit into the Federal Capital Territory from the north, south, and west, as the case may be, are relatively manned by stern-looking operatives of these formations. And I think to a large extent, these efforts has given respite to the situation as the case may be. Of course, that's not taking the fact away that, of course, there are challenges that as they may come, as events unfold in the days ahead. But the fact that these formations have been able to establish is the fact that they are ready for whatever and testing of the waters that the men of the underworld might want to throw at them. Ruth.
Of course, it's their part they're playing, and having confidence, talking about the citizens now, residents of the FCT. Did you speak to any person, to feel the pulse? Do they have confidence? Because people just want to go out during the festive period to celebrate in peace, without any fear. Did you talk to some persons to find out if they're confident?
Yes, like you rightly saw in the background report that that you just introduced before my conversation with you now, you heard people who had exercised a couple of fears, of course. The reality is that the challenges of insecurity is evolving on the daily basis. Of course, the nexus of it is neither swinging here nor there. What they've been able to do, what the security formations have been able to do over the course of time to strengthen confidence of residents of the territory, especially as regards the FCT Police Command, is the continuous singing and then making efforts to strengthen partnership between the security agencies and the people they serve, who in this case are residents of the Federal Capital Territory. Community policing is one initiative that the command is looking to relatively get hold of, to interface with the people, and then of course by so doing strengthen the confidence of the residents. As you readily see, you are seeing the critical role that the Police Community Relations Committee of the FCT Command is playing in this regard. Gone were the days when in the territory people had this fear of going into a police division now, for instance, to volunteer information to the police to say, okay, I'm seeing this person around this neighborhood and I don't seem to know who he or she is or what they do or the kind of movement I see around them or where they go to and at what time they go out and come in. You've had calls where people are coming in now, going into from the interactions. In fact, one of the persons I spoke with in Area 10 readily told me of how she can readily, comfortably walk into the police division now to give intelligence report to them, and they work with them and they see results. So the confidence is getting stronger and stronger by the day.
Honor too, of course, security is everybody's business. Like they always say, when you see something, you say something and also do something about it. Thank you so much, Honor too, for that comprehensive update.
Thank you, Ruth.
All right. Our correspondent there giving us the security situation in the FCT, especially during the Yuletide season. Let's turn to more issues pertaining to security, the Nigerian Armed Forces have introduced compulsory drug tests during military screening and intake. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, who announced this while on a working visit to the office of the Chairman, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, retired, who stated that the military will fully support the renewed war against illicit drugs and commended NDLEA for the successes recorded under the leadership of the chairman.
Not shoot anybody. We have made a number of arrests while in the northeast. Our checkpoints and all of, we pick them up and we prosecute them. We kept standing court martials. Anybody that is found guilty must pay for it. And we try to do rehabilitation. Part of our recruitment process and courses, you must take drug tests. Because we want to ensure that whoever we have in the armed forces is doing the right thing, is in the right frame of mind.
NDLEA in the last 3 years have convicted more than 6,000 criminals, seized more than 20,000 tons of illicit drugs, and promised to expand its drug demand reduction program.
Essential to criminalities. It is for this reason that the NDLEA have been very ferocious and aggressive in denying these criminals access and availability of illicit substances. NDLEA were ever ready to continue our collaboration, if not intensify it, towards drug demand reduction in the barracks.
The chairman commended the military for the support to the agency's deep raid of forests across the country. Lagos is our next stop, and Michael will guide us.
Thank you, Ruth. The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has launched a 750 million naira Lagos Markets and Trader Money initiative to support 15,000 traders as part of measures to alleviate hardship in the state. The governor announced this at the inauguration of the newly constructed mid-level food agro hub in Idioro, Mushin, SA Onwamaka reports.
Food systems transformation agenda is strategic in the actualization of the themes plus agenda of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration, especially the fourth pillar of making Lagos a 21st century economy. This mid-level agro-produce hub, sited in the Mushin-Idioro area of the state, is aimed at paving the way for the modernization, reorganization and presentation of state-of-the-art data-driven food and agriculture systems where players and actors in the marketing chain can interact freely.
Food security is not only about producing. If you do not take care of the market angle of it, which is what Lagos is to the rest of Nigeria, then there is nothing else that Nigeria needs other than Lagos organizing its food systems and Nigerians following hitherto.
I challenge all the other local government, go and make the dream of government a reality. It's not being a cabinet member alone. Go and do it.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu noticed that the facility, the first in the state, heralds a turning point in the state's food distribution system, which is currently plagued by wastage, post-harvest losses, traffic congestion, and other inefficiencies, resulting in the loss of over 50% of agricultural produce.
In all, the plan is to construct 50 middle-level produce across the state, and it is envisioned that through this project and similar ones to be implemented, food preservation and food presentation to the huge populace will certainly be enhanced.
Some traders expressed delight over the gesture, emphasizing that it will significantly address the challenges faced by market men and women in Mushin and its environs.
A good one that farmers will come together where you have farmers in one roof in a very clean, neat atmosphere. This will attract a lot of people.
People should embrace this opportunity. They should come patronize all made in Lagos products as well.
The mid-level agro-produce hub, sprawling over 6,400 square meters of land in the Mushin area of the state, has ample car and truck parking space, as well as centralized dry and cold storage systems. In Lagos, SA Onwamaka, NT News.
It has become expedient to reposition the national policy on education by implementing strategies that will deliver graduate students who will blend with the labor market demands. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu was speaking at the National Council on Education meeting in Lagos. Again, S.A. Wamaka reports.
The development of education is crucial to the true economic prosperity for any country. Hence the need to chart a new course that will lead to the attainment of the 2030 Education Development Agenda, with a theme addressing the challenges of policy implementation, a panacea for the achievement of Education 2030 Agenda. Stakeholders in the education sector express concern over well-crafted policies that are faced with ineffective implementation in the sector and called for prioritization of the education sector by policymakers.
As we deliberate during these sessions, we must reflect on identifying the challenges of quality and access to education, the required infrastructure and facilities vis-à-vis the quality of teachers required for the maximum implementation of educational programs.
Government, educational institution, civil society organization, and the private sector must work closely to mobilize resources.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who was represented, stressed the need for more collaborative efforts in enhancing the quality of teaching and learning that will produce self-reliant youths in the country.
More importantly, let us resolve to rededicate ourselves to ensuring that our policies are not just fantastic on paper, but are actionable and implemented to achieve the desired results.
The 67th National Council on Education meeting is aimed at addressing the challenges of policy formulation in the education sector and providing lasting solutions that will provide refined educational models in the country. In Lagos, S.A. Owamaka, NTA News.
Those are the report from Lagos. Nationwide continues in Port Harcourt shortly after this break. Please stay.
Good afternoon and welcome to Port Harcourt. The Nigerian Army 6th Division has distributed food items and medical consumables to members of Ahoda East Local Government Area of Rivers State as a mark of appreciation for their support in the outgoing year. Debra Sedema has the details.
Model Primary Health Care Center, widows and the underprivileged were those privileged this time to benefit from the goodwill of the Nigerian Army in a bid to promote good civil-military relations. The outreach is a move to bring succor to the people. General Officer Commanding Nigerian Army 6th Division, Major General Jamal Abdulsalam, represented by Commander 6th Division Garrison, Nigerian Army. Brigadier General Eddie Efyong urged the people in the communities to always provide timely information to ensure a peaceful environment for economic development.
You've been there, you lived peacefully with us, you supported us, giving us information that helped in carrying out all our operations. I wish we can do more than this, but I believe that every little effort that is being put in will go a very long way to make you comfortable.
The people of Ahoda East appreciated the Nigerian Army.
Ordinarily, people think that the army is all about war, fighting, but today has shown that they also have love running in their veins. Also, I want to say a very big thank you to them.
I have never seen this type of thing before from the Nigerian Army. I just want to appreciate them because they have so remembered the women, the less privileged, that I am so happy.
The presentation to Ahoda East is the latest in the series of outreaches by the Nigerian Army to communities in the state. In Ahoda East Local Government Area of Rivers State, Dibabar Sidomaweke, NTA News.
Some members of Ogba, Ebema and Doni Local Government Area of Rivers State have declared their resolve to continue to promote peace and unity in the state as a means of assisting Governor Siminalayi Fubara in achieving his dream of developing the states. They made this known during a stakeholders meeting at Onelga Ifoma Omeza tells us more.
It was a gathering for unity and peace of Rivers State by the people of Ogba Ngbemandoni local government area of Rivers State, as various age groups came out to support Governor Similaye Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odu. The affirmation follows recent political development in the state, which they consider as being capable of truncating the peace of the state. The most recent being the resignation of some cabinet members from the Rivers State Executive Council. The forum urges the governor to be focused in the discharge of his mandates.
OSF wishes to convey this message of solidarity as our reaffirmation of faith and trust in a governor Fubara's capacity to lead Rivers State in the next 4 years, as freely expressed in the overwhelming electoral victory.
The forum also charged the Speaker, Rivers State House of Assembly, Edison Ehiye, to ensure a peaceful tenure.
We are fully behind you in all your actions. Involve us. Be rest assured of our 100% commitment.
We are gathered here today to tell the governor of Rivers State that whenever people will stand with the justice.
They reassured their stand for peace and unity of Rivers State and urges Governor Fubara to continue to ensure security and delivery of good governance to the people. From Ogba Ngbemandoni local government area of Rivers State, I am Ifoma Omesa.
And as the size of a bulletin, Nationwide continues with Ruth in Abuja.
Thank you, Gabriel. Chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts, Bamidele Salam, says 2024 budget is being properly scrutinized to ensure that the critical needs of the people are captured and reflected in the budget. Bamidele Salam, who also represent Ede North, Ede South, Egbedure and Ejibo Federal Constituency, gave the assurance at an education endowment and business empowerment program for the people of his constituency in Ogun State. Femi Afariogun reports.
For 4 years, Honorable Bamidele Salam has been consistent in empowering different strata of his constituency in Ede North, Ede South, Egbedore and Ejibo Federal Constituency. The lawmaker has again facilitated operational equipments, which include 80 grinding machines, 80 swing and industrial machines, 80 air dryers, 80 generators, and 80 deep freezers.
So this is what we can do to complement what Governor Ademola Adeleke is doing in the various communities to ensure that we then touch the individual needs of members of the communities to empower them to be able to earn more in their various businesses.
The lawmaker, who is the House Committee Chairman on Public Accounts, assured Nigerians that the House is doing proper scrutiny of the budget.
The implementation of whatever is passed is another area that we are interested in. And I can assure you that as a Public Accounts Committee, we are going to ensure that there's value for money and there is a faithful implementation of the programs and projects and policies encapsulated in the 2024 budget.
Osho State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke applauded the initiative of the lawmaker, urging beneficiaries to utilize the equipment properly. 650 students from various tertiary institutions also received bursary of 25,000 naira each and scholarship, while 25 secondary schools, both public and private, got laptop computers.
Actually, it's not only me, it's going to help every one of us, as in the economy of ours now. A little can help, and even this is much than a little.
I've been dreaming about these instruments for a long time. I pray may Almighty Allah continue to bless him.
Cars were also presented to chairmen of local governments under his constituency. From Ede, Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
Welcome back. Acquiring leadership skills is central in one's pursuit for education, especially at the university level. This informed the decision by the University of Abuja in establishing a youth leaders clinic nationwide. Vice Chancellor of the university gave the cheering news at the maiden annual leadership dinner of the center in Abuja. Ogochukuka Ona reports.
Academic work is now made easy for doctorate and postgraduate students of the University of Abuja
thanks to Youth Leadership Clinic, an initiative of TED Fund. Salient questions about leadership problems in the country can be answered here.
The time is coming very soon when leaders will be made, not by accident, but through preparation. Those who know Nigeria inside and out, who understand Nigeria's aspiration.
We look forward to prefer solutions that will help us grow our.
The Leadership Center has taken the lead in training future leaders, of this country. And we are partners in progress.
To serve as a reminder that they are the builders who will shape society, the evening featured a celebration of knowledge, resilience, and excellence as coordinators of different classes of the institution were honored as a way of saying, after sweat, there is sweet.
Nigeria should start looking for merit in whatever people are doing.
I feel very excited and happy, and it's also rewarding hard work.
I've been equipped in several areas of leadership throughout my stay in the school.
The Abuja Leadership Center at the University of Abuja is a rallying point for students and academics that are interrogating leadership challenges in Nigeria and beyond with the ultimate desire to seek solutions. In Abuja, Ogochkuka Ona, NTA News.
The renewed home agenda of President Bola Tinubu's administration will prioritize education as it remains a key component for human capital development and national growth. Vice President Kashim Shettima stated this in a message at a reunion dinner award night organized by University of Maiduguri National Alumni Association in Abuja. Olain Kaujo reports that the university was established in 1975 with 66 students, now boasts of more than 74,000 students.
It was a gathering of alumni members of the University of Maiduguri from all walks of life. The reunion is aimed at raising funds to support the less privileged in their academic pursuit.
The funds we raise tonight will not only support future generations, but will also contribute to excellence.
See what other associations are doing. We must do better.
Vice President Senator Kashim Shettima represented and lauded the achievement of the University of Maiduguri since its inception. While urging the members of the association to give back to their alma mater, the Vice President assured of government support for the education sector.
No stone will be left unturned to develop the educational sector. This will be done, like I said, in accordance with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
We can make a difference. No effort is little.
Despite the insurgency, which has lingered in Borno State for more than a decade, the university has remained a beacon of learning as it was never shut down for even a day.
It is a university that is thriving on a well-established foundation.
The event also created an avenue to honor some outstanding alumnus of the institution for their selfless contributions to education and humanity in general. Olain Kaujo, NTA News.
As an institution which one of its mandate is to provide solutions to societal challenges, University of Abuja has thought it wise to introduce diary studies so that its graduates can be equipped with knowledge towards contribution to nation's drive to ensure local supply of dairy products. This was at the maiden conference of the university organized by the Faculty of Agriculture. The institution maintained that it will also leverage on more than 11,000 hectares of its vast untapped land to train students on dairy farming on campus. University of Abuja is the first to introduce the course in the country.
A major preoccupation of mine to mobilize this great university to be in the forefront of dairy research, dairy training, and dairy scholarship.
We are now thinking of having animal source of milk. So if we're able to do that and we grow the gross domestic product of Nigeria, we can now have a source of taking care of over the 200 million people that we have in Nigeria.
200 million Nigerians means that we can look at opportunities that this sector provides.
Former Executive Secretary of TED Fund, Professor Elias Bogoro, an animal scientist who was represented, a message was delivered on his behalf on resilient and sustainable dairy production for national development. Sokoto will be our next stop, and Sadia is set to guide us.
Ruth, about 3,000 wheat farmers in Sokoto State have received farming inputs provided by the federal government in collaboration with Sokoto State government and support from African Development Bank. The program is part of federal government's effort to boost agricultural production and ensure food security in the country. The latter Abdullahi has more.
The National Agricultural Growth Scheme and Agro Pocket NAGS AP is targeting 5 million farmers. It is aimed at ensuring accessibility to quality and affordable agricultural inputs to boost food production and food security in Nigeria.
They shouldn't frustrate the effort of the government by going back to their respective farmlands.
Shehu Nasara Gidan Haki and Ibrahim G. Shehu are among the 3,000 smallholder wheat farmers selected to benefit from the scheme in Sokoto, which is among the 5 implementing states in the country. Each beneficiary of the program received 7 bags of NPK and 3 bags of urea fertilizers, 2 bags of improved wheat seedlings, as well as agrochemicals to engage in dry season wheat farming to boost production and economy of the state and the country.
Frankly speaking, I appreciate the gesture by the federal government. This help will boost wheat production in this country. The support will help me move forward, as such will enable me boost wheat production in my locality.
In order to reach targeted farmers, the inputs were distributed at 2 designated centers in Wamoko and Goranyo local government areas. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Wife of Kebbi State Governor Zainab Nasir Idris is championing a course for proper dress code for the girl child in public and acquiring skills for self-reliance on completion of secondary schools. Hassan Abubakar Koko has details.
Hijab for any female Muslim is a modest way of completing her dressing for protective purposes. It discourages antisocial vices such as rape, molestation and even bias. This is why Hajia Zainab Nasiri's initiative is not only considered timely but appropriately from the grassroots. Local government chairmen, traditional rulers, parents and teachers were encouraged to support the initiative. It is a well-known fact that every part of a woman needs to be covered. We are appealing to the students that this initiative is not meant to ridicule them.
I always tell my students, dress as you want to be addressed. So she found it very relevant that let her start with the way they appear first. Then this is part of our journey in ending the gender-based violence in the state.
In another development, Hajia Zainab Nasiri is also championing the acquisition of skills by female students before they graduate from secondary school. This is to help them be self-reliant even if they proceed to higher institutions. We want to encourage our teachers so that they can impart meaningful knowledge to us. I promise to further my education to university level. She's doing this in collaboration with the Agile NGO. Hassana Abubakar Koko, NTA News.
And that is our contribution from this end. It's now back to Ruth in Abuja.
Thank you very much, Sadia. Advocacy for inclusivity for persons with disabilities continue to gain traction across different sectors. Ngofan Shaji Ngwai reports that a group of doctors are collaborating and lending their voices for the need to cater for health of persons with disabilities at the grassroots.
What is happening in Etibekbo in Akwa Ibom to that person that has disability issues is the concern of the doctor that is domiciled in that locality, in that community. And this, of course, gives some sort of impetus to this body because we have members all over the country.
You ensure that we stay healthy
Therefore, it is pertinent to extend a hand of fellowship to an organization like yours so that we can plan strategically how to guarantee access to quality health.
It is hoped that the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding will better improve the provision of healthcare services for persons with disabilities and reactivate some of the health interventions by the federal government, especially for those with cases of albinism. In the aftermath of the commemoration of the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, advocates from different disability clusters met with the European ambassador to Nigeria to set an agenda for inclusivity among civil society groups in the country. Ngofin Shaji Ngwanyi again reports that this roundtable is to take stock and strategize in the transitory period of awareness and advocacy towards ensuring full implementation of the law against discrimination of persons with disabilities, strengthening collaborations with CSOs, donor partners, and issues that touch on women and children with disabilities.
Its creation to implementation and enforcement.
Disability agenda, disability inclusion is part of our internal agenda, but it's also part of our external action.
We must take advantage of her passion and commitment to inclusivity.
The European Union ambassador to Nigeria commended the federal government's efforts on inclusivity, but noted that more need to be done. She pledged the EU's continued support to the community of persons with disabilities. Sports update is next.
We begin with the Champions League draws. Champions League holders Manchester City will play Copenhagen in the last 16 of the Champions League, while Arsenal face Porto. This follows the last 16 Champions League draws on Monday. The first legs take place on the 13th to 14th and 20 to 21 February next year. City and Arsenal are seeded, meaning they will play the second leg at home. Meanwhile, in the Europa League playoffs, Feyenoord will play Roma, AC Milan will trade tackles against Rennes, while Shakhtar Donetsk are up against Marseille. All matches of the first leg will be held on 15 February with the second legs on 22 February 2024. In another development, Chile and Poland have been given the hosting right to host the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in 2025 and FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in 2026. The FIFA Council met ahead of the FIFA Club World Cup 2023 semi-finals in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, with youth competitions an important item on the agenda. The slot allocation for both the FIFA Under-20 World Cup 2025 and the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup 2026 are the same as each other and remain unchanged from the previous editions of both competitions. And finally, Bayelsa State Commissioner for Sport, Daniel Igali, has attributed the recent success of the state at the Para Games in Abuja to their proactive sports model. Team Bayelsa won a total of 74 medals to finish first at the just-ended Para Games, a feat Igali describes as a product of consistency.
I have a very well-rounded team in the Ministry of Youth and Sports and in the Sports Council, and we have the required funding.
Igali says the state will strive to step up the game in the coming year. With Sport Update, Suleiman Musa, NTA News.
We're done with Nationwide. We do appreciate your company. Have a beautiful evening. I'm Ruth Aguela. Bye.